Hey guys, it's Ryan here from Explained, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we will be reviewing the movie titled Horrible Bosses from the year 2011. What happens when three friends are fed up with their respective bosses and they decide to do the unthinkable? Let's find out. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The story is about three friends. They start with the first one, Nick Hendricks. Despite not loving his job, has given everything in his life to it. He even gets complaints over being just 1 minute late. But he believes that one day all his hard work and sucking up to the boss will pay off as a big promotion. And just when he believes that he's finally going to get promoted, his boss, Dave Harkin, steals his promotion and even increases his own salary. Nick confronts his boss about this, but instead gets told that he amounts to nothing. He is just a slave to him and will end up nowhere in life. Next up is Dale Arbus, who is soon to be married to his longtime girlfriend. Dale always wanted to be a dentist, but he fell short and became a dental assistant. The dentist he works for is a sex addict named Julia, who is always inappropriate towards him. And when she finds out that Dale is going to get married, she wants him even more. With complete disregard of their workplace, Julia always tries to seduce him. Lastly, the situation with Kirk Buckman is a little bit different. Unlike his friends, Kirk loves his job and has a very supportive boss. But all that changes after his boss dies in a car accident and his son Bobby takes over the company. On his first day as boss, Bobby wants to fire all the overweight and disabled employees. He threatens Kurt that if he doesn't fire them, then he will be the one to lose his job. So, in order to save his livelihood, Kurt fires the poor employees, and then Bobby comes out to play the good guy and blames it all on Kurt. The three of them meet and complain about each of their bosses. However, Kurt and Nick believe that Dale is just living his life, getting seduced by his boss. They then meet their old college friend who has changed a lot since their college days. Their friend says that he was fired by his boss, and since then, his life seems to be more miserable than ever. In fact, his life has been so bad, he offers his friend sexual favors in return for some money. Seeing their friend in that situation, they fear the same thing might happen to them as well. So the anger towards their bosses intensifies even more. They think that if their bosses weren't around, their life would be so much easier. And during their conversation, Kurt hypothetically asks what if they could murder their bosses and never get caught? Would any of them do it? Kurt and Nick agree that they would. But it's too much for Dale, even if it's just them speaking hypothetically. He says that he will never do such a thing. The next day, Dale gets a surprise visit from his fiancée. She says that she was invited by Julia to get her dental checkup for free as an engagement gift. Dale realizes that something's up. When his fiancée gets unconscious, Julia starts to force herself on Dale. She even suggests doing it on top of his girlfriend's body. Dale has had enough, and he states that he's going to quit. But Julia has other plans. When Julia gives him free dental services after he started to work for her, she had taken some pictures of them together, which suggests they were having sex. She blackmails him that if he doesn't sleep with her next time, she will show those pictures to his fiancée. Dale goes to his friends and says that he's ready to take his boss's life. Now he has enough reasons to agree with what his friends were talking about last night. They drive to a pretty dangerous neighborhood and enter a bar hoping to find someone that might help them. There they meet a guy named Dean M.F. Jones, and they're surprised to know what his middle name really meant. Anyway, Dean Jones says that he can do their job. They ask how much money it would cost, and Jones wants 30 grand. Dale asks if they can get a discount since they bought 3 hits, but Dean says there's no negotiation. Nick argues that the price is too much. Dean gets angry and increases the price to 5 grand. Math is something that Dean is not very good at. They quickly agree with his new offer and say that they'll bring the money tomorrow. Next day, they all take out their share of money and take the total of $5,000 in a briefcase to Dean Jones. After taking the money, Dean says that he's on probation, and if he gets caught again, he's done for. So he only proposed to be their consultant, meaning that he will not kill their bosses but will guide them through the process. The gang says that they didn't agree to this and they want the money back. But Dean says there's no refund. They have no option but to listen to Dean's $5,000 worth of advice. He says that they all have clear motives behind killing their respective bosses. The police will be on them from the start. So, to clear out their names, all they have to do is kill each other's bosses, not their own, but their friends. They think that it's great advice, and Dean leaves with the money. First, they go to Kurt's boss, and they plan to wait until he gets home. It gets dark, but Bobby's still not home, so they decide to check if he's already inside. Just when they're about to enter the house, a car comes out of the garage, and Nick and Kurt get inside before the garage door closes, but Dale hilariously gets left behind. His friends then open the door, and Dale also gets in. After entering the house, they decide to check if they can find anything helpful. Dale finds drugs and shows it to Nick, but he accidentally drops it, and they end up inhaling some of it. Kurt, on the other hand, enters Bobby's bedroom and finds his phone. When he checks on his friends, they are completely out of their senses. They finally get out of the house, and Kurt shows them the phone he managed to steal. Nick is back to normal, but Dale is still under the influence. Now they go to Nick's boss's house, and they leave Dale to be on lookout. If he sees anyone, he needs to signal them by honking twice. Nick and Kurt enter the house, and they start to search for anything that can be of some help. Meanwhile, Dale is out of his mind jamming to songs inside the car. He starts to play Angry Birds, and then Dave Harkin shows up. He finds a piece of trash thrown by Dale and confronts him about it. He wants Dale to get out of his neighborhood, and then suddenly he starts to get an allergic reaction. The bag which Dale threw out of his car had a peanut butter sandwich, and Harkin is allergic to peanuts. Harkin points to his shoes, and Dale finds an allergy shot. To save his life, Dale has to use that shot on Harkin's chest, but it doesn't work. Meanwhile, Nick and Kurt see the scene from the house, and they believe that Dale is actually trying to kill him. They run to get out of the house, but in that process, they drop Bobby's phone. Harkin's wife also arrives at the scene, and he finally gets up after almost dying. His wife hugs Dale, thinking he saved her husband's life, but Harkin isn't pleased with it. He thinks that his wife is unfaithful, and Dale is one of her boyfriends. After a while, Dale meets up with his friends, and he is excited that he saved a person from dying. He didn't know that the person he saved was actually Nick's boss. Nick and Kurt are disappointed that Dale actually saved him instead of taking his life. But they've found some helpful intel. Bobby has drugs in his house, and Darkin is allergic to peanuts. All they need to do is put poison in Bobby's drugs and get Harkin in contact with peanuts. Then the boys go shopping. Nick gets some rat poison, and Dale buys a bunch of peanuts on sale. Nick will take care of Bobby, and Dale will go for Harkin, while Kurt has to get info on Julia. Kurt goes to Julia's house, and he gets very excited to see her. Nick is also at Bobby's house waiting for him to leave or just to go to sleep. Meanwhile, Dale is watching the notebook on his iPad. Harkin is in his house looking for any clues relating to his wife's affair. Then he finds Bobby's phone, which was accidentally left behind by Nick and Kurt. He finds Bobby's address in it and believes that he is the one his wife is sleeping with. Filled with anger, Harkin drives to Bobby's address. Dale uses this opportunity and gets inside Harkin's house with a jar full of peanuts. But he gets nervous and calls Nick, saying that he can't go through with this. Just then, Nick sees Harkin outside Bobby's house. Harkin knocks on the door, and when Bobby answers it, he gets shot to death. Harkin then drives away, and Nick is in shock. The guys meet at the bar. Nick is still in shock after witnessing a murder, and Dale realizes he cannot take somebody's life. Kurt also says he cannot murder Julia as something happened between them. Julia actually knew that Kurt was looking at her, so she deliberately seduced him and even left the door open for him. Kurt got the signal and very happily took the invitation. Anyway, Kurt says that he will take care of her. Now they have to deal with what they're going to do with Harkin. Kurt says they should anonymously call the cops and say that Harkin killed Bobby. After that, Harkin will go to jail and they won't have to deal with him. But before they could call the police came to them. Nick's car was actually caught by traffic surveillance leaving the crime scene. So they got suspected of murdering Bobby and get taken to the police station. Nick gets interrogated onto why he was leaving seconds after Bobby's murder. Nick answers that he's a drag racer and he was actually drag racing. He cannot say that he saw Harkin kill Bobby because then he will have to answer what he was doing waiting outside Bobby's house. The police further question why he was with Kurt, who's actually an employee of the victim. Kurt acts surprised and turns the attention to Nick, asking why he was outside his boss's house. The police don't believe them and accuse them of murder. But Dale says they don't have any evidence that they actually murdered Bobby. So, per the law, they are completely free to leave. The police unwillingly accept it, and just when they're about to go free, they get informed that the forensics team will soon check the house for any kind of DNA and fingerprints, which will truly reveal if they're actually involved in Bobby's murder or not. Kurt then remembers that he used Bobby's toothbrush to scratch his butt. His DNA is in the toothbrush, and now they are in serious trouble. They meet Dean Jones to get any kind of advice on what they should do. Dean suggests that they get Harkin to accept the murder. while they try to secretly record his confession. They get to Harkin's house and they see that his wife had planned a surprise party for him. She recognizes Dale for saving her husband's life and invites them to the party. A little later, Harkin arrives and gets surprised by everyone at the party. Nick and Dale go to Harkin to get his confession while Kurt has his eyes on Harkin's wife. Nick confronts Harkin and says that he saw him murder Bobby. Harkin falls into their trap and confesses that he killed Bobby for sleeping with his wife. Nick and Dale get happy, but they realize that the tape recorder is with Kurt, who's not with them. Harkin tells them everything, but by bad luck, they don't have anything to record it. Harkin threatens to kill them for trying to blackmail him, and he goes to get his gun. They run outside and they find that Kurt actually had sex with Harkin's wife while they were busy getting him to confess. Then they go to Bobby's house and they see that the police are already there. They drive away from there and Dale receives a call from Julia. She wants him to talk dirty to her on the phone, or else she'll show his fiancé the pictures that she took of him and herself. Just then, Harkin hits their car from behind and is trying to kill them. So now Dale is on the phone with Julia trying to make her happy, while Kurt is driving to get away from Harkin. After a while, Julia is satisfied with Dale, but then they get hit by Harkin. He points his gun at them and says that he will tell the police that they're the ones who murdered Bobby and were trying to kill him as well. He's going to frame them for the murder he did, and all the evidence are also in his favor. He even shoots at his own leg and throws his gun at Dale, who catches it. Now it looks like Dale and his friends were trying to kill Harkin. The police also arrive and Harkin begins his act. They believe the lies set by Harkin, but just then a police officer finds a tape recorder in Kurt's pocket. They realize they actually managed to record everything that Harkin said a while ago. They tell the police to play the tape, and at first they hear Kurt having sex with Harkin's wife. They fast forward it a little, and then they hear Dale having phone sex with his boss Julia. Finally, they hear the part where Harkin confesses to murdering Bobby and trying to frame them for his crime. Harkin then gets arrested as all of his lies have been exposed, and they're no longer suspects of murder and are free to go. Nick finally gets his promotion, and Kurt is happy that Bobby is no longer his boss. As for Dale, he finally agrees to sleep with Julia while their patient is unconscious. Julia gets really happy and says that she's ready to do it. But then she finds out that the patient is actually Dale's old college friend who heard everything and was just acting to be unconscious. Meanwhile, Dean Jones was outside recording everything. Dale was actually trying to frame Julia so she would finally leave him alone. Thanks so much for watching. Comment down below on what you thought of the movie. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell to never miss out on our future videos.